Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Jay's Fit Down podcast. I'm your host Jay, and I'm again here again with my friend Sheldon. Here, he's back on. You guys remember him from last time, and we're going to be talking about Lamar Jackson. Very hot topic right now. He just got put on the franchise tag by the Ravens, Sheldon, and everybody's freaking out like nobody wants him. All this everybody's like, why does nobody want Lamar Jackson? So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what teams go from pretender to contender this year. Really interested to see what we have on that. And top five wide receivers in the game right now. And then, of course, our wild card question at the end. So let's start it off, man. What, what you think about all this, man, with Lamar?
You know, Lamar, there was a lot of reports he was supposed to, go to Atlanta or teams like the Bears, QB needy teams. But the real problem I see with Lamar is he's asking for too much. I get it. He's our most valuable player. He is a great football player, one of the best QBs in the league right now. But as a team player, he just does not fit what I think is going on in the NFL, which everybody's really going for a strong arm passer now, like a Patrick Mahomes type of breed. So I think it's really hard for him to, ask for that money and then some team out there going to get it. Because if they give him that type of money, they're not going to be able to build around him and get the team that he wants, that everybody says that he needs. Even though the Ravens really have, if you think about it, given him that perfect team that he's wanted.
Yeah.
Like, they drafted 3 first-round receivers in what? I think it was in the first 3 years, something like that.
Sure did.
Drafted Hollywood, Durvey, and
Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, Rashad Bateman.
Just inconsistency, though. They're not consistent.
Yeah, I think, and it's also the scheme that they're running in there. They have the best run-first offense we've ever seen in NFL history, and Lamar's leading that charge. So there's really no time or point of even passing and having Lamar expand his passing game when it's always a run first type of deal, which also makes teams that want him as their quarterback to, expand his passing, but he really hasn't showed any progress. Like in Lamar's whole tenure with the Ravens, he only has one receiver that went over 1,000 yards. In 5 years, one receiver has only went over 1,000 yards, and he barely. And that was Hollywood Brown during his MVP season. Has not had a receiver since do that. So, I think it really shows, can Lamar prove to himself that he could elevate his passing game to a whole different level that we've never seen before to earn that money?
Yeah, I agree. Lamar is a worldly talent, man. The dude is just amazing. When he's on the field. I mean, we all know that. But again, it's that passing game. It's that element to where he needs to improve. And that's just being a consistent passer, like you mentioned. Now, it's a pass-heavy league. You need quarterbacks that can push the ball down the field. Like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. Like, we see this now. But Lamar, he's not, his arm just isn't there. He just doesn't have that in his arsenal at the moment. And so I feel like, and like you say, he's asking for this type of money, like this Deshaun Watson type of money. Like, no, like that's why a lot of these teams are like, no, because if we put that on you, then how are we going to build the team that you need to win, as you mentioned? So it's like, and that's one of the reasons why the Falcons are not interested in him, because you and I both know if they put that money in Lamar, we're going to be right back to square one like we've been the last however many years. Same deal. He can run around and do all this stuff he wants to, but defense is still going to be giving up 30 points a game. Still going to be getting cakewalk up and down the field. It's just still be the same story on repeat. And so, would you rather that happen continuously and we never reach the postseason again, or would you rather us, have a complete all-around team, and have good weapons on both sides of the ball and be able to compete in the near future, in a very close window that we have these next couple of years for a championship. So that's what I think about Atlanta's situation, and very similar to other teams too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he's Lamar Jackson, man. Like, it's crazy. I mean, you think the Ravens will actually trade him?
For a good price. Like, it seems like what the Ravens are doing now, especially since they signed him to that non-tender franchise tag, it seems like they're trying to they're trying to show Lamar who out there really wants him. And we've been seeing the reports, especially as of lately, that the Dolphins pulled out. You had the Raiders, Panthers, Falcons. There really aren't that many teams. I can't think of a team right now that wants Lamar Jackson, that really wants him to be their starting QB next year. And I think the Ravens are trying to show that, to show Lamar, hey, we're the only team, you got. It's either this or you maybe possibly be looking at like you're out of the league by next season. So I think them doing that is really going to give Lamar a wake-up call to lower his deal and lower that guaranteed money.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a choice, dude, because the money he's asking for, nobody's going to pay that. Like, he's got to get that through his head. Like, nobody's going to pay him that money. Like, until he notices that, it's just, I mean, either he's going to play on that tag, or, or he won't play, he'll hold out, and he might not, he just might not play for the Ravens. Who knows? So it's going to be something interesting to keep an eye on as we move, throughout these next couple of weeks, especially with the offseason really starting next week. So I expect a lot of more signings and trades to start happening, like, within the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be something to look out for. But that moves into our next topic, man. What teams go from pretender to contender this season? Who you have? Because that's going to be interesting.
All right, listen. I believe that, this season we've seen teams take great strides. Teams that we've never expected to do well, but they did well. Okay. So for my pretenders, I'm going to go Dolphins. The Dolphins, realistically, they have a great group, but I think this year was their year to, really ascend. And they kind of underachieved, especially with the injuries to Tua, not being their quarterback. They had Skyler, I forgot his last name, Skyler something at QB during the playoffs, and he was a rookie, which really, really a shot to your team. But I think next year they're not going to perform well. They're going to move on for Tua. And then I also got the Patriots. The Patriots, I believe Mac Jones is the guy, but I don't think the team is in any good shape to build around him. The Ravens are going to completely fall off if they don't have Lamar Jackson. And that's just it. Their defense is very talented, but they can't keep anybody. And I also believe the Eagles. Eagles are a big team. They're losing a whole bunch of free agents. They really can't sign anybody back. So, their team we're going to be watching very closely, especially after the Super Bowl loss.
Yeah.
And then probably teams I think that are going to ascend, like I'm talking Super Bowl contenders. I have the Jets.
Okay.
If they get Aaron Rodgers, this team is a threat to the whole entire NFL. Both sides of the ball equally is great. They get a great running back in Breece Hall coming back, who, in my opinion, if he wasn't injured, probably would have won Rookie of the Year. Yeah. But you have I believe the Atlanta Falcons. This is me being biased. The Atlanta Falcons are a team they're coming. They're slowly coming up, but they're under everybody's radar, especially since everybody thought they were going to get Lamar and somehow be a contender. But I believe Desmond Ritter can take that next step into being maybe a top 20 quarterback in this league. And then the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions have the most hype coming out of the season than anybody else in the league. I don't know what it is. I don't know how they're winning, but they're just playing good football right now. And I believe next year, this the most hyped Lions fans have been in years. So I believe that they can maybe go all the way to the conference championship, but we'll have to see. And then my other team would probably maybe be the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton, being their head coach. I'd never expected that, but I feel like this is them taking a turn of the leaf after firing Nathaniel Hackett. And maybe, Sean Payton comes in and he does great, but maybe this team could live up to the expectations that they were supposed to have this year.
Yeah. Those are some solid picks, man. The Patriots and, that was a surprise. I mean, I agree, especially, like I said, with New England. They just, if they could just get some production on the offensive side of the ball at the receiver position, especially, most likely lose Jacoby Myers for free agency. You got to get some production in there. Maybe look at some guys in the draft to pick. Defensively, they're solid, but they. Matt Patricia and Joe Judge calling the plays cannot continue to happen for the Patriots in order for them to win. So glad they made the move to kill that. So for me, my picks are going to be the Washington Commanders. Yeah.
Are they going up or down?
They're going up, man. They're going up. I believe they can make the postseason this year. They don't really. Sam Howell, he's going to be the starting quarterback most likely, unless they bring in a guy like Garoppolo to be a bridge player. If they bring in Garoppolo, I would not be opposed to that if I was a Commanders fan, because again, if he stays healthy, he's solid enough. The team's got Terry McLaurin, you got De'Ami Brown, you got these guys on offense who Brian Robinson, they're good players, and defensively, they're keeping Deron Payne, and Jonathan Allen, those guys, they got a stud defensive line, Chase Young, obviously. I think the Commanders, and then Eric Bieniemy is going to be the offensive coordinator, so we'll see how that works. But I think the Commanders can make the jump. And then I got the Chicago Bears. Dude, listen. Hey, look, I'm telling you, if they don't, it depends what they do with that draft pick. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they trade back, maybe pick up an old lineman or a receiver, or they might keep it and draft Will Anderson. Which would help them. I think the Bears are close, man. They played better last year towards near the end. Justin Fields is continuing to improve, and hopefully they just get the right piece on the offensive line and get him a receiver, because Chase, we already talked about that. So they get some production at the receiver position, defensively, maybe adding a few more pieces there in free agency. I think the Bears can make it back. Then the other team is the Carolina Panthers. Dude, you remember, they were a game or two from winning the South, right? And you got, Frank Reich, offensive-minded coach. He's bringing in his staff over from Indianapolis, and, who knows what they're going to do at quarterback, So if they trade up and try to get Stroud or Young, I don't know what they're going to do, but the Panthers, and then I got my hot take is the Colts.
Ooh, the Colts coming back up?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And listen, but hear my case out. Here's my case. The defense is good. You got a solid defense. Gilead cornerback, Kenny Moore at the other cornerback position. Isaiah Rodgers at the slot, and defensively, DeForest Buckner is still a stud on that defensive line. Shaquille Leonard in the middle. I keep forgetting he changed his name. Shaquille Leonard's really good. I think the Colts, it's just the offensive production. Obviously, we all knew who their quarterback was last year.
Oh man.
You know, I just slipping in there, man. You know, we have, on Jay's down. You know, we have to. The Matt Ryan slander is huge here. Oh,
Yeah.
But if they can get a young or Stroud at quarterback, throw him in there, like this team has a chance to compete. I believe they do. I really believe what was holding it back wasn't offense, injuries, but also the quarterback position. They get themselves a quarterback. The Indianapolis Colts will be in the postseason this season. I believe it. I'm calling it right now.
This season, you're doubling down.
I'm doubling down. I got the Colts going to be in the postseason. 2023, they'll be in the playoffs. That's my list right there, man. That is my list.
Yeah, I believe the Colts can do it because of Frank Wright. You know, he has a tendency of developing great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But I believe the next season, probably if they go Stroud or Bryce Young or even Anthony Richardson, they could be a threat.
Yeah. See, the thing about Anthony Richardson is, dude, he's so talented, man. He had a great combine. I don't know if you saw him, but he had a great combine. His numbers are just impeccable, and he's a freak athletically. But he's just so raw, man. He's really raw. Like I can't really remember the last time we had such a raw prospect at the quarterback position. Could we even? I mean, what? Cam?
He reminds me of a Cam Newton type of guy.
I mean, even Cam, I might say, might have been in a little bit of a better position than him, but still, he's very raw. Yeah, like I don't think a team should go with him and then just throw him out. Now, Anthony Richardson, let him sit, and just learn because he's so talented. He's a freak, but he needs to get the mechanics down correctly. There's a common consensus, man, that people want to just throw these quarterbacks out there like, man, they need to learn. Yeah, they need to learn. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will.
This draft. Every year.
Yeah, this draft is probably one of the most interesting drafts we've seen in a while so far.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where these teams go with their picks. But moving on, man. Top 5 wide receivers in the game right now, in order. Who you got?
All right, so this is going to be a hard decision, but number 1 obviously goes to Justin Jefferson. I mean, that man is a beast among men. Number 2, I'll probably go Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs at number 2. And then Devontae Adams, even though he's had a weird little season, he'll go number 3 for me. And then for number 4, I would have to go A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, probably up there. He had a great season, double-digit touchdowns. And then I would have to go for number 5. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm missing somebody who is definitely supposed to be here. Not.
How about Cooper Kupp?
No, Cooper Kupp had a.
He was injured, but dude, the year before.
Yeah, he was a
beast.
Yeah, he was a top 10, most definitely. Oh, who am I thinking of that's just like Justin Jefferson? I can't remember him. I'll just go. I'll just go. There he is, Jamar.
Okay.
Jamar would, definitely. Actually, switch. No. Yeah, that's it. That's the list right there.
That's the list. That's a good list, man. So that's a pretty good list. I totally agree with keeping Justin Jefferson at number 1. The dude just he's His route running is crazy. He's really good. He's good hands. I mean, he's just he wins. Just once the ball is snapped, he wins almost every time. It's on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I like Jefferson's game. Very elusive. So I agree with you there, and I'm gonna go Jefferson, Devontae Adams at number 2.
Oh,
Okay. I mean, yeah, he had a weird year, the Raiders and everything, the whole Derek Carr stuff, and Las Vegas. But the dude's just a baller. Like he is like, if it wasn't for Jefferson, probably would be the best receiver in the NFL right now.
yeah.
Number 3, I'm going Jamar Chase over AJ Brown. I'm going Jamar
Oh,
Chase. Yeah, he's just crazy good, man. It was just I mean, he can catch really anything you throw at him in double coverage, sometimes triple coverage. The way he can split tacklers and knows where to go in the zones and to sit down and in the holes, and that can be really helpful to a quarterback, especially a guy like Burrow. So and so that's something else. And I got 2 more. Definitely gonna put AJ Brown at 4. He had a great season. He's always really been a good receiver, and him going to Philly just helped elevate it back.
yeah.
And, at number 5, man, number 5 is always a tough one, man. It always is. Now
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
There's a lot of
Gosh.
great guys out there.
It's a lot of them out there. It is. I just might have to go Stephon Diggs right at number 5. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Stephon Diggs.
Safe pick.
Safe pick. I mean, he's, we know what he can do. I mean, he led the NFL, I think, in yards receiving season ago, and he's just, again, the route running, great route runner, good speed. So I'm going with Diggs at my 5 pick right there. So those are my top 5 receivers.
That's good. That's a good lineup right there.
Yes, it's a fantastic lineup. So and if obviously some people might be in different spots depending on how their teams do. But it's the name of the game, bro. So and last but not least, man, our wild card question on Jay's Fit Down today: best sports movie of all time.
Ooh, best sports movie of all time.
Best sports movie of all time.
Oh man, there really is a lot.
Pick one, bro.
I'll have to go since it was my childhood, type of movie. I've watched it so many times. It would probably be, I truly forgot the name of the movie, but it was the movie with the boy with the talking baseball and the talking bat. That ring a bell?
Man, you're going way back.
Yeah.
Man, I remember that movie too. I just can't think of the name of it either, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was the one where he stole Babe Ruth's baseball bat, and then the whole movie he was just trying to get back to it. But that always stuck with me because of course it was a little animated movie,
right?
But when I was playing baseball, it kind of inspired me, in a way, because it was just like it felt real. It felt real to me. I don't know why, but I thought it was like based on a true story or something like that. I thought there was actually a talking baseball out there back in the day.
Yeah.
But every time I watched it, it just brought me like home. Like it felt like a safe zone and a feel good movie too.
Yeah, that's a good pick. And somebody in the comments out there, please help us. On the name of that movie. I'm sure one of you guys out there knows what film Sheldon is talking about. So please let us know so we can, know. But I think my movie would be The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler version.
Oh, the Adam Sandler version.
The original was really good too, but I'm gonna go with the Adam Sandler version. I mean, like I said, it's Adam Sandler, Chris Rock. I mean, even Michael Irvin, man. Like, it was a great.
They had Stone Cold Steve Austin in that too.
Yeah, you did. Like that was a great lineup, man. Like that lineup. It was a great casting lineup. I mean, the story was really good, of course. And shout out to Tracy Morgan too. We'll have to revisit those scenes with him. But but yeah, I think I'm gonna go to Longest Yard. The
The
Longest Yard.
longest one. That was
Yeah,
that was
my
a good
favorite.
movie too. I
Yes.
can't remember. I can't remember when I first watched it, but I just remember it was hilarious.
Dude, I died laughing the entire. Every time I watched it, I laughed. Like I just ball out laughing. It was just it's so funny. I mean, like
I just remembered it. I just remembered the name.
what's the name of it?
It was everyone's hero. Yeah,
Yeah. I
everyone
remember that.
heroes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
great movie. I don't know when it came out or like how I got my hands on it, but I just watched it so many times back to back to back.
Yeah, yeah, and it was a good movie. Like it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you for joining us. That wraps us up for today's episode. We always love to talk to Sheldon and have his insights here of the NFL. And Sheldon, thanks for coming on the podcast today, man. And
Great to be on. Great to be
about
on.
Lamar Jackson. So hopefully, we'll get to see what happens with him. And in our Atlanta Falcons, of course.
Yep.
But thanks for coming on, man.
Yep. No problem.
Of course. Well, we'll talk to you again, man, and you take it easy.
You too. All
All
right.
right, man.
Peace.